Hi guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with yet another Lucian commentary guide. Now a complete guide will be coming up for him soon. It's just that, with the new season right around the corner, and 2.4 right around the corner, I'm gonna have to wait till patch 2.4 releases and for all the new items to come up. Then I will make a complete guide because it's gonna change a lot. No point in making one now when so many new items are coming out, especially items like Essence Reaver, Navori Quick Blades, and Solari Charge Blade that has been revealed, and I think most, if not all of them, will be built on Lucian. So today we are doing a Baron Lane Lucian guide. I have yet to be able to secure a mid Lucian. Not even a gameplay, but even a game. I've never managed to play Lucian mid because mid is always picked by someone else. But anyways, here we're up against a Renekton who apparently isn't in the lane. So this is already the first important thing that I gotta teach you guys. Two things actually. First up is not to randomly push the wave just because your lane opponent isn't around. And secondly is not to level up your abilities if you don't need to. So now I've actually taken my first and second and third skill because I have reached level 2, but at level 1, as you guys saw, I did not actually take any ability because I don't need any of my abilities because I'm just going to be last hitting the wave. So I don't know if I need my third ability, my second ability, or my first ability, so I did not level up anything. So here, as you guys can see, we are actually trading very well against the Renekton. Of course, range versus melee is always going to be an advantage for us. However, with Renekton, you gotta take note that he has a double dash with his slice and dice, and he also has a point and click stun with his W. So here I'm dashing in because I'm confident I can get the kill, especially with my barrier, and we get a easy kill onto the Renekton. So we of course should have the advantage in top lane, as I said. However, just gotta be aware of his healing on his Q, his stun on his W, and his double dash on his E. So the advantage for Lucian versus Renekton is not as big as some other top lane matchups that you could get, just because of how mobile Renekton is. Of course, against someone like a Fiora, who is also very mobile, maybe not the best. But against someone like a Garen perhaps, or a Darius, the advantage is going to be way more. So we already managed to hit level 5 off CSing and that one kill. So here I'm just going to keep the lane warded. Of course, it is a Lucian enemy jungle, so he could show up at any point in time. Here Renekton actually goes in on us, but he wins the initial trade. But as you guys can see, as he's walking away, I get a Q light slinger onto him, and basically I win the trade. So that is the main advantage of playing range. So here we can see that Lee Sin has shown up at top, and Katarina is also there. So basically all 4 other members of the enemy team is at top. So in the top side river having a skirmish, obviously I'll never be able to make it there in time, so no point even trying to rotate, but I can be a little bit more aggressive. Here I think that Renekton has back, so I'm actually pushing out the wave, but he's actually just sitting in the bush. So here I'm just gonna get a fight off on him. I actually get off a culling as he's running right at my face, and a clutch flash auto attack for the kill. Now that was a very close fight that could have gone very drastically wrong, because as I said, Renekton is a big threat because he did flash CC me, and he did drop his ignite on me as well. So I survived by the skin of my teeth, and we managed to pick up the Blade of the Rune King. Of course, the build is the same as my previous Lucian build, Blade of the Rune King into the Infinity Edge, Static Shiv, either Proto Belt or Zhonya's, and then Moral Reminder and Guardian Angel. So of course this build isn't too important considering that patch 2.4 is going to drop in a couple of days. I'm not sure if the items will drop when 2.4 drops, but I do believe that will be the case. So probably in like a few days time, it's all going to change, because probably Lucian is going to be building I predict he's going to be building Essence Reaver into Navori Quick Blades, and either that or he might be building like Infinity Edge or Solari Charge Blade, but definitely Essence Reaver is going to be in the picture. It's just the order that I'm not too sure about, and of course we're going to have to test that as well on the order of building like Essence Reaver, Infinity Edge, or Solari Charge Blade, or Navori Quick Blade. So we're going to have to see what is the best order. And since Essence Reaver and Navori Quick Blade does give AD as well, Infinity Edge may not even be necessary. Infinity Edge used to be necessary on all crit based AD carries just because of how it's the only crit item that gives AD, but now Bloodthirster has crit and gives AD, and Navori Quick Blades and Essence Reaver also gives AD, so Infinity Edge may not even be a necessary crit item to build anymore. So here I have actually decided to rotate for the Dragon, and the trade-off for this is that even though I'm 2 kills up on Renekton, this is basically going to let Renekton semi-equalize the situation, because he's gonna get like 1 to 2 tower plates, and if the situation was not good, he could even have gotten an entire tower. So here I actually start the Dragon, but I quickly recall, because my team definitely secured the Dragon as they won the team fight at the top lane. So I'm gonna secure the Dragon and quickly run back to bot as fast as possible to prevent Renekton from getting any more gold or any more plates. He surprisingly only takes 1 plate. He nearly gets the 2nd plate, but he doesn't actually greet over the 2nd plate, and he instead goes back to base, which I think he could have probably gotten the 2nd plate without any risk. He actually hides in the bush again, so this Renekton is one of those that just love to hide in the bush. So here, it's not exactly the safest to just go onto the Renekton just like that, because he's so close to his tower, no chance of us killing him anyway, so we're just going to secure the Scuttle Crab. Of course, we do know that Lucian is up top again as usual, and Katarina is also in the top side area, so it is just me and Renekton yet again. Renekton goes all in on me, and I'm gonna trade back some damage. Actually doesn't really go all in because he doesn't ult, but he basically full combos me, so I'm gonna just trade back some damage. Graves doesn't really need my help to pick up the Rift Herald, so I'm just here to distract the Renekton in general, because the rest of the enemies are already in the top lane. Here I almost accidentally KS the Rift Herald from the Graves. Luckily that does not happen, but I'm just going to hit back to my lane to just CS and try to harass the Renekton as best I can. Here gotta be a little bit wary because Renekton is at full rage, so here I actually dashed away because I expected him to be dashing in on me, but prediction not exactly accurate because he doesn't actually end up dashing towards me. But I already have a decent lead, and I'm going to pick up a BF sword for a huge boost to my AD. So the thing about Lucian is that obviously he can be played in both Baron lane, mid lane, as well as AD carry. Now my personal belief is that his best role is actually mid, and I do think that probably AD carry and Baron lane is about the same. Here I'm just going to use everything onto the Renekton. The culling goes through and actually hits him all the way. Here I got to flash away from the Katarina and back off because the Lucian has finally decided to pay a visit to bot. So here my team shows up for backup, so I'm going to dash back in to get off some damage on the Lucian, and the Katarina picks up the kill. So here there's a Rift Herald drop, so I'm going to actually pick up the fruit and then continue pushing with my team to try to pick up this tower. I don't recall if we get the tower. I don't think so. So here, of course, the Rift Herald does whack the tower, but here I get a Buster shot by Tristana. Tristana rocket jumps, flashes, and heals, but thankfully, she's not. She doesn't have long enough range as of yet. She's only level 8 at the moment. I'm 2 levels up until level 10. Of course, I can't really fight her at 1 HP, but thankfully she was not any higher level. If not, I'm pretty sure I would have died there. In fact, I was actually expecting to die there, but somehow I didn't. So here we don't really have enough to pick up the Infinity Edge, so instead we're going to pick up a Proto Belt and hit back to clear the wave. So the tower does eventually fall to the Rift Herald because Tristana did chase me instead of clearing the Rift Herald. So Rift Herald does actually manage to pick up the tower, and that allows me to rotate to other lanes. My tower is pretty low itself, so here I'm just going to pick up the Skull for Vision again. Lee Sin actually is in the area. We do secure the skull. He doesn't manage to get off a smite on the skull, and Seraphine and Katarina are also in the area. So it's roughly a 3v3 if a fight breaks out. But as of now, nothing too much is happening. Of course, I want to be rotating to other lanes, but no one is really clearing this lane. I thought that the Seraphine might, but she didn't, so I'm gonna have to quickly clear up this lane first. So here, I am a level up on Tristana, and I am up by quite a bit of kills. So here I'm gonna be able to 1v1 her. I don't even hit the entire culling. I did manage to get a little bit of damage from the ultimate, but Tristana really wise to jump over my ultimate. Thankfully I did have my barrier up as well, so she doesn't actually manage to pick up the kill on me, and instead I do pick up the kill on her. So we're doing really well. 4-0 row 1. So Lucian, of course, he is a early to mid game AD carry, so he has to sort of get a hit in the early game or at least stay even. If he gets behind in the early game, it's not going to be too good for him. Not as bad as someone like a Draven, but it's still pretty bad because that is the strongest point of his game. So if you get to late game being like negative, you're not going to be doing too much. So thankfully we do have a pretty sizable lead, and at this point in the game we actually have the most gold, I believe. Or actually maybe the enemy Katarina has more. No, we have slightly more gold than enemy Katarina. But enemy Katarina is of course a huge threat. So we do manage to chase them off the dragon just because of the Lucian being very low, and I would have just gone in there given the correct opportunity. And you know, they're really wise to actually just get away from the dragon. Here Lucian actually goes into the pit by himself, and Ezreal with the Q manages to snipe off the Lucian as he dashes over the wall. So this allows our team to start the dragon. Graves is of course in the area, but apparently he does not go for the dragon, instead goes for a zone control. Katarina nearly gets a steal, but thankfully she does not. She instead picks up a double kill. So here I'm going to flash over the wall, pick up, Graves picks up the kill on the Katarina actually. My piercing light that did not actually go through. So here Renekton flashes onto me and hits his ignite. I barrier, but unfortunately the ignite does manage to finish me off. So we do finally get a death there, which is really unfortunate. Katarina, however, gonna be able to pick up the Tristana maybe? I don't think so. Probably Katarina is gonna die instead to the Lee Sin. There we go. There goes Katarina. Pretty unfortunate. So only Ezreal and Seraphine are left for the team. Not too much we could have done there. Renekton just goes in on me. So here can check out the new Battle Academia Ezreal. The running animation pretty weird, but we are already back. Not too far in the game yet, so death timers are still manageable. We have picked up our Infinity Edge and we are building towards a static shift. Picked up the Zeal already, so we are really strong at this point in the game. Of course we can't be 1v5ing or anything, but as long as someone on our team kind of front lines, which there isn't really in this game. So one thing about Lucian Baron lane is that normally the Baron lane is a tanky fighter or a true tank like a Malphite or Mundo. But if you pick Lucian Baron lane, you're going to be taking up the spot of your tank. So unless your mid lane is playing somebody tanky or your jungle is playing somebody tanky, honestly Lucian Baron lane is not a very good pick. It's not that his matchups are not good, his matchups are good. It's just that playing a marksman top is going to ruin your team comp, and you're not actually going to have a solid front line like you see in this game. Of course this is not a ranked game, so it's not very important. I'm just playtesting Lucian in this role, but if this was a ranked game and I was playing top, there is no way I'm going to pick Lucian. I'll be picking you know, like a Camille or a Malphite, just for more tankiness and a better overall team comp. So here my team is generally grouping mid. Katarina, stopping the Renekton from pushing in top. But you know, we don't actually have too much going on. Tristana is actually pushing bot, so I'm actually gonna rotate over to bot to try to stop her. I actually start getting off my damage on her. She puts her bomb on me, but realizes that she's not going to win a 1v1 against me, so wisely jumps away here. Face checking the bush, she's not there. So I'm just going to quickly pick up the red buff. A skirmish is starting to break out in the mid lane already, but it is just a small skirmish, not yet a full-on team fight. Now it looks like Lucian is going in, kicks the Graves into his team. Graves manages to flash out and escape with his life. So here, of course, I don't want to be in the direct front line. I'm going to try to see if I can pick up a kill. We do get the kill onto the Renekton. Culling goes wide, and also I get rooted by Senna W. So that isn't the best situation here. My team is kind of winning the fight, so we're going to go onto the chase for the Senna. Get off my Q auto attack onto the Senna, and Seraphine finishes off the kill. This will allow us to transition into getting the mid lane tier 2 tower. And you know, push possibly even more, because the only person left alive is Katarina, so she can't really defend mid that well. We do have a large wave to try to get the mid inhibitor. So of course I'm going to queue through the minions just to get my passive off, to proc my passive onto the tower. We get the kill onto the tower. Katarina, as you guys can see, is doing a lot of damage. She's 10 and 3, so she is putting in a lot of work for the enemy team. as am I for our team. So Lucian showing up in the area. We're just going to recall. We don't want to tussle with him, at least not at the moment. So the next dragon is spawning. So of course, we're going to play for the objectives. So we're going to rotate over and try to pick up the dragon if at all possible. So enemy team is all up. They dropped the ward in there. They're obviously interested in at least contesting this dragon. So we're just gonna try to do it a bit conservatively, trying to drag it out a little bit. Not really. Team is not really cooperating. The dragon is a little bit out at least. So here Seraphine gets off a pretty good charm. We're going to get off the culling. Lucian does actually get the dragon, unfortunately. So here we get the kill on the Katarina. I'm gonna have to back off a bit so Lucian doesn't just jump on me. And we're gonna come back into the fight. We're gonna burst down the Lucian and the Senna as well for the triple. Renekton comes back in and gets the kill onto Katarina, but with my barrier and my passive and all, I do actually get a quadro kill and as well as the shutdown onto the Renekton. So despite getting stomped by me in the early game, Renekton is actually doing relatively alright now. He's 4 and 5, which is way better than the 0 and 2 that was against me in the laning phase. And he actually itemized to go a little bit more tanky. He didn't go for the Blade of the Rune King because obviously he was a bit behind in the early game. So going for a carry build was not the best option for him. So he does actually go Black Cleaver into Randuin's Omen and then Starrick's Gauge, which is really a wise idea by him, honestly, because it's going to counter me and my crit. So he is really mostly just countering me. Of course, Katarina, her crit when it comes to the Oblivion Orb as well. But Renekton is really building really well against me in particular. As you guys can see, compared to the early game, I wasn't really able to burst him down that fast in that fight just because of his Randuin's Omen. So here we're setting up for Baron. And I do spot Katarina's dagger, so we're just gonna walk up a little bit to threaten. Honestly, that was a little bit dangerous because if I got caught out myself, it wouldn't go too well for the team. Nice Seraphine ultimate again. I get insect into the enemy team, so I'm going to have to flash out before I take too much damage. I get a really nice culling, maximum damage. I believe every hit of the culling actually connected onto at least one member of the enemy team there, so that went pretty well. Honestly, here we don't have to pick up Baron. We can go straight for the end at this point in time. We have a huge minion wave in the mid lane with the super minions, and the entire enemy team is dead. But as you guys know, we have the Sentinels of Light event where picking up a Baron Nashor, which is an epic monster, in addition to our 2 dragons and 1 Rift Herald, is gonna be really helpful to charge up. I believe it is the Riven quest on the Sentinels of Light event. So of course we're gonna pick up the Baron since we're gonna win anyways. So why not just pick up another free Baron? So anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll leave you guys with the stats as usual, and goodbye.